Morning everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to use Plaster of Paris to fill a gap such as this one between the two boards. It can also be used in modelling for making landscapes such as hills and valleys. If you've ever broken your arm or your leg and they put on a cast, that's what a cast is made out of. It's made out of this stuff, Plaster of Paris. So I'm going to show you a quick video how to use it, and hopefully you can take away some useful tools from it. So what you're going to need, not much thankfully. I use a pair of gloves simply to stop the plaster of Paris sticking to your hands, fingers. I have fairly coarse fingers and rough from work, so I just find that the plaster sticks in there for days if I don't wear the gloves. Also it's handy if you're working at something and you need to move quickly, or you're done, you just whip the gloves off and you can put on another pair. Lukewarm water I find works best with getting it to mould properly and to get it to stick properly. You could use cold water, but lukewarm water I find is just the best. I've just put it in a plastic takeaway tub so I can get rid of it. I don't mind it marking the tub. I can throw away the tub at the end. Good pair of scissors. It can be fairly thick, fairly stubborn to cut through, and of course your plaster of Paris. You can buy this stuff off the likes of Woodland Scenics. I know they do it, but you can also just go online onto eBay or Amazon and just look up Plaster of Paris, and it gives you can bulk buy it if you're working on a big area or landscape, and it works out cheaper because, let's be real, we're all trying to cut corners in some way, shape or form. So yeah, that's all we're going to need, and now I'm going to zip forward and show you how to put it into place. So I've now cut a strip roughly the size I need. I've left it a wee bit short just here on the road, just because it'll be easier to work at a smaller area with a smaller strip when I have this main strip in the way. One thing to note is this stuff goes everywhere. It's really powdery, so just take that into consideration when you're cutting it, because you don't want to be dropping powder everywhere. Just for cleaning up later, it kind of makes it easier to take that into consideration. So just wetting my finger in the warm water, just dabbing it in, and I start on the edge normally. Just, you can dip your whole fingers in on a big area like this just to really get it moving. Then you sort of just press down on it nice and gently to wet it. Boom it right out to the edge, push right out to the edge, so that the plaster then covers the area on the edge of it as well, so it'll stick better. And basically just keep doing that. It takes forever on a large area, but just keep doing that over and over and over again. And once it dries out, it'll dry hard, dry solid, so just try and make sure it's as smooth as you can get it, because it'll make it easier for putting more layers on it, or it'll just look easier on the eyes as well when it's finished. So just pushing down the edges like so. Just pouring the water on with my fingers there, just to speed it up a wee bit. And then just easing the plaster to the edges there. You could probably do with a few layers, depending on what kind of area you're using, or what kind of area you're covering, and how solid you need it to be. I'm only getting around to this now. I've been working on this layout for about 5 or 6 years, on and off. And I've rushed everything, and now I'm trying to come back and fix everything now. So the track gaps, the track that was over this, doesn't really need that much to cover it, so it should be okay with just one layer, but it's just simply for when I come along to ballast it and stop it from all the ballast falling through the holes here, the groove. You just keep going along smoothing it out the edges. Try not to work like all on one side or on the other, try to move up in one line. It just keeps it in place a wee bit better, and it also helps if you have to stop what you're doing for a few minutes, or if you want a cup of tea halfway through it, just means you know where you are. It's less likely to fall out of place if you've got it well stuck in one area. Should hopefully then all stay. So just take that into consideration when you're start off an area that's going to be probably the most difficult to do. So that if you have to move away or you want to break from it, you can it'll hold. You don't have to worry about it moving or having to reset it again. So I'm gonna stop the video here and not bore you with it anymore, and I'll come back when it's all done. Just as a bit of a pointer for the edges, keep them stuck in place, what I tend to do is wet your fingers, 2 fingers enough, and press down on the edge. You can see like that. It starts to whiten out and thin out, and then just spread plaster like that. It just means it helps stick the edge a wee bit better, so that it's not moving about. That way you can like move down in a line. Now you can see the completed Plaster of Paris parts, the overlays. This one I've just finished putting in place, so that'll still take a while to dry, but this is the first one I was working on. It's a bit damp, still a bit damp, but I like that, it's workable. You can keep moving on. That's 3 hours ago that was done. So I put bits down and then went about getting other stuff done that I needed to get done, and then came back and finished off the rest of them. So hopefully this video will give you a hand. I'll come back when it's all dried to show a finished product, but with a time of how long it took for it to dry out. But I could nearly put the track back in place, but I'll just give it a wee while yet. Just tidy around the board while I'm working, while I'm waiting. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful, and yeah, here's the first of many.